Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have tuned into
I
another
like that,
edition of the
guys.
Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Colter. To my far right, my co-host Kevin Johnson, KJ,
Right.
and
That's
today's
right.
special guest in the middle, we got
Mm-hmm.
former Benedict College and New York Jets tight end Rolando Shuler. What's going on, Rolando?
Yeah,
Coach
Rolando,
Shuler.
Hey,
what's going on, man?
hey, nothing much, guys. Nothing much, man. Like I said, man, appreciate you guys for thinking of me. You know what I mean, and having me on your show, man. It's an honor to me. I don't know how y'all feel, but it's an honor to me, man. I've been sitting here waiting patiently, and you know, man. And then it's another thing. It's a rare occasion I have the house to myself. So y'all
Yeah.
help me out in
Yeah,
more than one area.
Yes, sir.
cool, man.
Yeah,
That's what's
man.
up, man.
Yeah,
So glad to
Hey,
have you,
man.
man.
yeah,
Yes,
man. Happy to
sir.
be here with
Glad to
y'all,
have you
man.
on the show, big coach. So for the people that don't know you, let them know where you from and actually a little bit about your background.
All right, I'm Rolando Shuler. I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey. You know, I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey. We grew up in Prince Street Projects in
All
Newark,
right.
New Jersey. You know what I mean? Shout out to all those guys who was up there with us, man. And we moved to South Carolina when we were coming to high school. I was coming to the 8th grade, and my brother was going to the 9th grade. It's kind of funny because we twins, and he actually was. It was a program that we could get into because we both was good in certain areas of education. And it was a program we could get into that
Uh-huh.
one of us would excel, and he had the opportunity because he was a little better than me at that. So he got into a grade ahead of me, you know, and so that's how
Okay.
we kind of like got off. But
Okay.
yeah, man,
Okay.
I live in St. Matthews, South Carolina now, Calhoun County, man. I love it here. You know,
That's what's
I
up,
love
man.
being here. I love what I do here.
Back
Yeah,
home.
see.
Yes,
Back
sir.
home, man. Back home. Yeah,
So
back home.
you guys started picking up the basketball first or the football since you up at New Jersey.
Man, New Jersey, it was probably really basketball more so than you know what I mean than football. But we
Okay.
always played football too. But basketball was like the thing up there, man. You know, you had a gym
Yeah.
on
Mm-hmm.
every corner. You go play ball on every, you know what I mean,
Black top.
everywhere. And yeah, every blacktop. And in our hood, man, we had we called it the hole. You know what I mean? You
Okay.
know, everybody came to the hole and played, and we had big tournaments over the summer. Then we
Ooh.
had seasons. We had seasons going through the year. You know, stuff like that, man. It was just a good atmosphere, man. A lot of people came through there. Shaquille O'Neal, one of them.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, Shaq, Big
What's up?
Shaq, man. Shaq is originally
What's
from
up,
New
Shaq?
Jersey,
Yep,
and he's
that's right.
originally from New Jersey, and he moved to Texas or something like that, man. But when he came back, Shaq came back, man. He did a lot of things for the community. Like, man, we was able to watch his first game that he came back and played against the Nets. He broke the backboard in that game actually, but
Dang.
Yep.
Okay.
he brought like 300 kids to that game, man. That was big. And
What? Yeah.
then he came to our he didn't redo our little blacktop, but he did the biggest one in New Jersey, which is called Green Acres, man. He redid it in the state of the art to this day. You
Okay.
know, the state of art to this
Cool.
day. But basketball kind of was it was kind of thing, man. We could, you know what I mean, we could do it. But, you know, football, we had to play in the parking lot, you know what I mean, or in what we call the donut, man. The donut was a big grass, dirt, and glass area. You know what I mean? You
Oh
really
Yeah.
didn't
man.
really want to play there, but that's what we did, man. That's what we had, and that's how we grew up playing, playing sports, man, you know.
Okay.
That's
Go
what's
ahead,
up.
KJ.
Yeah, man. But far as basketball, like New York ball and down south ball, what's the difference, man? Is one easier than the other?
Man, it's like same thing with versus football. You know what I mean? Like I think up north they pay way more attention to the basketball game, to the actual skill of the basketball game. You know what I mean? They pay more attention, man, to that, especially the dribbling and the flash. They
Yeah.
pay way more attention to that. And then we're South Carolina now. South Carolina is starting to catch up with all these other states now. You know, they done had the last 10 years a couple guys get into the NBA. Then you got 2 years ago, you got Zion and Ja Wood. They was top 3, top 5 picks. So they're starting to catch up down here, man, with certain
Yeah.
things. But if I would have to pick a choice, basketball, I gotta go up north, man. I think it's just a much better, you know what I mean? Just more basketball oriented. But like I said, it's the same as with football here. You know, you ask anybody, South Carolina football, y'all know South Carolina, Georgia, Florida.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? California, those are football states, you know. And not to say that there ain't no talent in New Jersey, because there's a lot of talent in Jersey. Some of my friends, you know, they came down and played ball down in South Carolina, and they could play. You know.
Yeah, I know. I know. Up in New York, man, they always say they kind of play kind of dirty, though. You know, you might get a
It's
bow to the
street ball,
chest.
man. You know, you get a couple elbows here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, you go home sore, man.
Yeah, I mean, but
I
that's the
can't play
thing,
with
man.
y'all.
And no, and our era, man, really growing up there, you sometimes you rather lose the game. You understand what I'm saying? You'd rather lose the game instead of deal with the aftermath of the fight or whatever that's coming behind it. Because we went from project to project playing basketball or corner to corner playing basketball. So it just wasn't no easy wins. You were playing for something that you didn't even know you were playing for. You know what I mean? So a lot of it was pride and a lot of, hey, look, I rep my hood, you know, or whatever the case may be like that. But that's how we grew up, man. And it put a lot of daggone toughness into us as individuals, you know, like, I don't got no quit in me. You know, like that's the kind of
Man.
ball
I
you
ain't,
played
I ain't giving
up
up.
there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
So
always like, I know for me and my brother, man, we were always put against the older guys, man. Like my brother and the people that they know who they are. Shout out to y'all up there. They know exactly who they are. They put us in a great position, man. You know, that we could come down south and we didn't have to worry about doing the things that were going on up there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We didn't have to worry about all that stuff. All we had to do is come down here and be good guys and play football and basketball and just, you know what I mean, and make it, you know?
Yeah. Makes sense.
so so
Yeah.
you guys started football when you moved down south. You didn't play football at all in New
No,
Jersey.
no, we played in New Jersey. We played in New
Okay.
Jersey. We played Pop Warner. We played Pop
Okay.
Warner
Cool.
football. You know, actually, the Central Ward Rams now they what they call unlimited. They got an unlimited team. They won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. My cousin coached them. We started off playing with them, man. You know, we started off playing there, and like I said, it was just good ball. You know what I mean? It was good ball. We started off playing with them, and actually, my first position was center. You know what I mean? Because I really, now I'll be honest with y'all, man, I really didn't want no part of football. You know, I almost was forced into football. You know, man, my whole family played it. And then we had a coach, man, that would throw us in the bull in the ring in a minute, man. And, you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
man. And I'm telling
It
you, bull
shows
in
you
the
got
ring,
heart right there. We're
bull in
gonna
the
Yep.
see if you got
ring.
some heart.
That's right. Bull in the
Yes,
ring, make a
sir.
man out of you, man. And make a
Yes,
man
sir.
out of you. And I kind of didn't want that. You know what I mean? I cried a little bit. I had a couple of tears like, Coach, don't do me no more. You know, and he said, man, you know, he told the other guys, he said, you know, if y'all don't hit him, you next. So basically that told me like, okay, you better get up and do something. You know what I mean? So that's what the deal, man. That's kind of like how I got, you know, going in football,
Hey,
man.
hey, was you in there when they send like two at a time?
Yeah, it was two at a time coming, man. You know how it go. You ain't even fast enough,
Oh,
especially if you get the first. You know how y'all know how it go. If you
yeah,
get
man.
if you
Hey,
get the
you
first
better
three,
get your head around, boy. You
yeah,
better
if
get
you hit the
around.
first three guys and it look like you still good, then they go speed it up, and then it's
Yeah,
getting faster and faster. Then
yeah,
next thing you know, before you can
yeah.
turn around, somebody coming. And I always thought the whole point for the coaches was to get us on the ground, man. Like, hey, it's supposed to be a hitting drill, not to see whether we could get you knocked down. You know,
Yeah, for real, man.
it was a
That's
good
trying to
drill,
build.
man. But you know that stuff banned from football now, man. You can't
Yeah.
do that no more in football,
Oh yeah,
man. That's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
one of the things that. That's one of the things that I think these kids need, man, because you know it let you know right now, like, hey, who won? That's how you can tell first day of practice. Hey, we doing Oklahoma, and we going to the Bull in the Ring.
Bull in the ring.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
hey,
So
that drill will send somebody to
that
the
just,
hospital
yeah,
for
send
real.
you home, man. Shoot, I
Yeah.
packed my stuff up, but you know my brother and my cousins, no, they ain't let me. You know what I mean?
Word.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you started off as a center. What was the next position you played?
Quarterback.
Ooh,
Next
big
position I
jump.
played quarterback, and
Dang.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Why I played quarter, how I got the quarterback, really, but I wound up playing quarterback. You know what I mean? I wound up playing quarterback my last year in New Jersey, and it kind of just daggone, you know, it picked up till I came down here. Actually, when I came down here, um, Coach Felder, you know, that's like my father, man. Coach Tony Felder, that's like my father, man. You know, great job. We'll get to him a little later. But
Mhm.
he kind of took me outside. Him and Barry Charlie, I know Barry Charlie was at OW.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
kind of
Coach
took me
Charlie.
outside and like, oh, you're a quarterback. Let me see your arm. You know what I mean? So only thing I did was throw a couple of passes, and it looked like they both sucked their teeth. Like, oh, he want to play quarterback. You know what I mean? So I had to kind of wait. I had to kind of wait my turn a little bit, you know. And then we got it. This was 7-on-7 was just starting to come about. Y'all know it was just starting to come about when we was in school. And I think like around really y'all was the only ones who doing it. Really, OW was the only ones doing it, you know, at the time.
For real.
And
Yeah.
I think 7-on-7 we played, I came in and I threw the ball really, really good. Like, so my high school career started off as me just coming in on third down and long. You know what I mean? The first couple of games, it started me coming third down and long or 2-minute situation and throwing the ball. Our starting quarterback was a really short guy, man. He could run that wing T offense well. You know what I mean? He was really short, named Vincent Jordan.
Okay.
He could run it really good, but he wasn't the best thrower, but he was the best catcher on the team.
What's up, Coach
He was the
Tony?
best. There he go right there. I told you that's my guy right there now. But he was the best catcher on the
What's
team.
up, Troy?
You know, but he was the catcher. He was the best catcher on the team. You know, so coach came to practice one day and like, man, look, if you're gonna start the game, so I'm like, I'm gonna start. All right, hold up, wait a minute. You know, he's like, if you're gonna start the game, man, you got to learn how to run that option. You know, and I'm gonna tell you, man, he taught me how to run the option, man. I'll never forget it because he stood down the line, right? You know, you gotta read the option. The defense never wrong. The defense never right. But if you wrong, that could be the difference between you getting back in the huddle or going to the sideline.
That's right.
So every time, you know, we would run the option, man. Coach Felder stood down there at the end of the line, and it was just me, him, and the fullback. And if he did a certain move and I read it wrong, bam. You know, he hit me about 20 times to tears almost. You know, like, man, coach, you ain't gotta hit me so hard. You know, I get the point, you know what I mean? But on the flip side of it, man, the first game that I started, I think it was against Wade Hampton, I believe. I had 150 yards rushing. You know what I mean? I had 150 yards rushing in that game and 3 touchdowns. And from then on, you know, it was like, all right, let's go. You know, so that's how kind of my quarterback career started. You know.
Yep. So you played quarterback, and you this is middle school, right? And then getting to high school, you just kept playing quarterback all the way through.
No, I never played middle school ball. School ball. As soon as I played JV in the 8th grade football.
Okay,
I played football JV in the 8th grade, and on varsity, I was what coach called a straight pencil. You know what I mean? I played all 4 years as, you know, starting quarterback all 4 years, except for three or four games, maybe 3 games. You know what I mean? But other than that, I was starting quarterback my freshman year in varsity.
Yeah, I remember that. He was highly recruited. So talk about some of the teammates that you played with, including your brother, and you know, the experience you had with Coach Tony Fell and some of the veterans you had before you.
Man, playing with my brother was a great thing, but it was a hard thing, man. He know what I'm talking about. You know, because man, he played tight end sometime, man. And I don't care if I threw a touchdown, he was always open. He gonna let me know. He gonna let me know that he was open. I'm like, Lolo, I just threw a 50-yard touchdown. Like, we scored, you know. But I was open. I'm just saying, I was open. You know what I mean? Coach said nobody wanted to hit him.
He's that big ass quarterback. Hey man, he was a tough tackler, man. He was a tough tackler, coach.
Yeah. Oh, one person wasn't getting me down. That was dang, you ain't doing that. Nah. You know, but my brother was one of my great teammates, man. Me and him, we pushed each other. You know what I mean? Sometimes to the limit where we almost didn't speak coming in the house. You know what I mean? We fought in practice a couple of times, man, and it turned out to be a good thing, you know, for the football team as a whole, man. Yeah. We'll get ready to go play Dillon. We were number 2. We were number 2 in 2A. They were number 1 in 3A ball. And we was going up to Dillon. And Dillon had Isaac Stackhouse and them guys, Melvin Page, you know. They were just some talent. It was supposedly unbeatable. You know what I mean? And my brother one day actually I felt like the defense wasn't ready to play. But I wasn't as outspoken as my brother was as far as going at the defense. I was always get at my offense, you know what I mean? Okay. So this particular day we fumbling and, you know, we just wasn't doing everything right. And my brother said, man, y'all scared. So I took it personal. I'm like, who's scared? You know what I mean? So Coach Felder called one play and I called another play. I said,
Yeah.
no, Coach, we running the option. So it wasn't even no choice of what I was going to do with the ball. I was keeping it and I was going to the middle linebacker with them.
Okay,
and
man.
we started fighting, man. We started fighting, not no punches to the face, nothing like that, because
Yeah.
the way we grew up, man, my brothers would never let us fight. You know what I mean? Me and my brother never had an opportunity to do that. We always had to be on team.
That's
But a
what's up.
football fight was, you hit each other on the head, grab each other. You know how it
Yeah,
goes.
wrestle.
And personal, it was a little quiet moment in the car. But you know what I mean? Hey, at the end of the day, the football team, the football team jumped up, yelling and screaming. You know what I mean? Then we wound up going up there and running them guys out their own stadium, man.
Ooh.
We wound up running them out their own stadium. But we had some good teammates, man. Al Troy Bodrick was one of them, man. One of my favorite memories come from Al Troy Bodrick, man.
Oh yeah.
I think we first time we about to get out the first round of playoffs in Calhoun County history, man. We playing Silver Bluff and they had us down. And we ran, I forget the play. I want to say we ran waggle. It wasn't many plays out the wing T passing plays, you know what I mean? We could do a couple different things, but it must have been waggle. We ran, but long story short, man, I dipped off of like 5 or 6 people, shake them. You couldn't tackle me. Like Coach said, he couldn't tackle me. Somebody was still hanging on me.
Yeah.
But I saw Al Troy Bodrick like sitting in the back of the end zone, man, with his hands like throw me the ball on his knees. Waggle. Al Troy said waggle. And man, I slung that ball. I don't know how it got there, man. I don't know how it got there, but Al Troy just slid right up underneath that ball, man. And that was one of our best days, man, at Calhoun County, man. And
what's up, bro?
Got plenty of other teammates that was there, man. But man, like I said, I want to talk about Coach, man. Coach Felder, man, he to this day, you know what I mean? Me and him we still go strong. And he was the first person to meet us coming out of my mother's house, man. We first moved here, we lived with one of my aunts. And he was the first person, man, that came to the house and like, I heard y'all got some boys down here. Me and my brother like, damn, already? You know what I mean? But Coach Felder came there, man. And one thing, man, he was true to his word because it's 20-something years later, man, and he's still taking care of me. You know what I mean? I knew that for sure. You know what I mean? He still taking care of me. But I never forget, he told my mom and my aunt, said, I'll take care of these boys. And we got in the car and left. We don't know who he is, but he took us up to the football field. You know what I mean? And every day, since that, man, he been a huge part in my life. And like I said, I call him my father. He know that. I call him my father. He been a huge part in my life, man. Decision makings and everything, man. My marriage and everything, man. He been right there with us. And that's the kind of coach that, man, you want to be with. You want around your kids, man. And that's what actually brought me into coaching. You know what I mean? He did.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good. So go ahead, KJ.
Yeah. So man, basketball. So what did you do then? Did you play basketball in high school or what?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I played basketball in college too. You know what I mean? I played basketball in college too. I was good in basketball. I just wasn't tall enough. You know what I mean? To go as far as, like I said, basketball is my first love. If you left it up to me, I think I told Coach Felder one time, man, because I was growing when we came down here, I grew 2 inches every summer until my junior year. And my junior year, I stopped growing, but I got to 6'5". And I was telling Coach then, I said, man, if I grow 2 more inches, I ain't playing no football. I'm going basketball, man. You know what I mean? But my basketball experience in Calhoun County was, man, we were great. We had some great teams, man. I had some great teammates, man. Our coach was he's a legend. Our coach was a legend, man. I was able to get coached by 2 high school legends, man. Sam Frederick is a basketball legend. You know what I mean? He's a basketball legend and as a coach. You know what I mean? I think he's been to 13 or 14 state championships. And he's working on number 10 this year coming up. So, my basketball experience been good, but I started all 4 years in basketball. I started 3 years in basketball because 1 year, my first year was me and my brother was always equal when it came down to basketball. And Zam had two big hitters in the post. You know what I mean? That's what we was when we were freshmen. Go in there, hit somebody, get some offensive, defensive rebounds. You know what I mean? Score some points. So it didn't matter.
So what you doing? Power forward? That's what you
power forward, power forward, center, whatever. You know what I mean? Had to get in and if now I was in New Jersey, that wasn't my game. My game was street ball. But but I never really played organized in New Jersey. It was always like the little tournaments and stuff I was mentioning and stuff like that. So organized basketball is way different. You got some place to be. You know what I mean? They need you to do a certain thing. You know what I mean? And all of that stuff like that. So my position was kind of like forward, power forward, forward center. You know what I mean? I ain't going out there handling no guard, no ball. We got too many other them.
Yeah,
You know?
for real.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So talk about some of the competition and some of the people that you played against in that era in basketball. You know, it was a lot of great people that played basketball during the times. You know, we were in high school. A lot of people coming straight out of high school.
Yeah, I go to think about, Jermaine O'Neal and them guys up in Eau Claire. We never played them in the game, but we had an opportunity to scrimmage them. That was tough. You know, that was big. It was Jermaine and it was Bud Johnson. Both of them 7-footers in high school. And they both was athletic. They both could score from wherever they want to score at. You know what I mean? You had those guys. Then you had Harold and Van Jameson. You know what I mean? Those guys they was big in the high. You know what I'm talking about down there in the Holly Hill area. And you had the Shivers boys from Ellery. You had was it Shivers? Yeah, the Shivers brothers from Ellery and TJ. TJ, he was one of the toughest guys, man, to play against down in that area, man. But we had a lot of competition, man. I could go on to name a bunch of them, and but it's been a lot of competition, especially in basketball. But of course, we was Calhoun County, man. They couldn't do nothing with us at the end of the day as a whole because we had so many kids on our team, man, that just could play. You know?
Yeah. So, how many state championships did y'all win?
We won the first one. That's good enough for me.
Okay.
we won the first one. We was on the first team in '98, but he's up to 9 championships now. You know what I mean? He's won 9 championships now. And he's been to the lower state. They just left the lower state championship, man. So it's like basically it's that or a bust down here in Calhoun County. You know, and Zam he did a good job, man, of keeping us focused every year and keeping our mind on not last year prize, but this year prize. It was like a new trophy or something every year for us. You know what I mean? But we only won it one time. We won it one time, but I was a part of 2 of the best teams that ever came through Calhoun County, which was the '96 team was the first team that won it. We were loaded. We were at least 15 deep. You know what I mean? We could go 3, we go 5, 5, and 5. You know what I mean? All those guys on that team could play. And then I was fortunate to play with 2 6'8" guys that were guards. Mike Haynes and Nathan Carson, man, them guys took a lot of pressure off of us. And then when I was a senior, man, I sit back and reap the benefit. And if Nate looking, me and him still do this every day. He ride down the street and he's going like that because he will make a no-look pass. You don't think it's coming. Then you're looking at him and he looking back like, hey, boy, I saw you.
Yeah,
so me and him, we still do that, man. You know, we still do that. Yeah, they were good. Nathan was the first guy to record a triple-double at Calhoun County history that we know of. You know what I mean? Once they started counting, he was the first one to do that. You know, but we had good teammates, man. I can't complain. I can't sit there and say that I was the one that made it go, but, I had a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? I had a lot to do with it. I was scoring 15, 16, 17 points a game, sometime a little more, but my thing was that and rebounding. You know, I didn't care who shoot the ball. If I get the offensive rebound, you're not getting it back. If I get the offensive rebound, you ain't getting it back. I got to score now, you know?
Yeah,
so I was fortunate to play some good guys, man.
That's what's up. Go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, so coming out of high school, they recruited you for football and basketball?
Not D1 basketball. No D1 basketball. I had like Winthrop, Claflin State, Benedict. Yeah, some good schools. I think a lot of people thought that because me and my brother was so highly recruited that it was already a foregone that we would just go play. We'll just go play football, and that's that. So actually, I got a letter in the mail from Winthrop saying that, hey, look, Rolando, we want to try to convince you to play some basketball. You know what I mean? And Winthrop would have had a chance if they had a football team. Because at the time, I'm like, well, I still want to play a little basketball until I got to college and played basketball. You know what I mean? I played 2 years, and then it was just like, But I was able to play. You know, I made the all freshman team, and at Benedict, I made the all freshman team. And actually, my first game I ever played against was against Ben Wallace at Virginia Union. You know, that was my first game ever. You know, I played against Ben
Oh,
Wallace.
Ben Wallace, Big Ben, boy.
Big Ben was tough, man. Big Ben was tough, man.
With the headband.
Yeah, he blocked a couple of my shots. I had 11 and 11 in that game, but he blocked a couple of shots. Yeah.
Hey,
That's what's
you
up,
get
big
to dunk
guy.
on him, baby? You dunk on him one time?
Yo, I wish, man. Please, that joker would have threw me in the basket, man. I was a little guy compared to him. You know what I mean? I was a little guy compared to him, man. You know, but basketball, man, that Benedict was a good deal, man. You know, like I said, I made the all freshman team and all that stuff like that, but it just got to a point where I knew that I wasn't going to no NBA. You know what I mean? And then the NFL scouts started coming around and they started talking, you know what I mean, like that. So it was with basketball, you know what I mean? So I wound up not playing basketball, but it's a funny how it started. Like we had a football game that Saturday. And we had a basketball game that Sunday night. So the basketball coach was like, Willie Washington, he came to my room, and it was a home football game against Edward Waters. It was pouring down raining. And he came to my room maybe about 3 hours after the game. He said, you got basketball practice. I'm like, basketball practice? You know what I mean? But now I done signed that scholarship to play basketball too. So he like, you got basketball practice, man. You know, so we go, come to basketball practice. So I went out to basketball practice. I really didn't do much, but like get me a uniform and shot around a little bit. And actually, man, he called me in the game. I was surprised. You know what I mean? I was surprised because it was like 4 minutes going off the clock. And he called me in the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was surprised. And I wound up rocking out for a good little bit and then getting some more time and getting more time. And one of the funniest things he said to me, I said, man, Coach Washington, man, I'm going to need some sneakers. And Coach Washington said, well, sir, you going to play like that, I'll buy you 2 pair of sneakers. You know what I mean? So
For real.
I'll never forget he said that to me, man. He was a good one too, man. Benedict, Hall of Famer, matter of fact.
Oh, thank you, Coach Felder. I appreciate it. For real. That means a lot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So talk about your football recruiting process, man, and how you end up going to Benedict on the football scholarship.
Well, it's gonna go right back to Coach Felder. You know what I mean? Because we were good guys. We just did what we wanted to do. We didn't believe. You know what I mean? Like we good. You know what I mean? We good. They coming, Coach Felder, you lying. They coming for us anyway. You just saying that to make us do our grades. But until one day, man, I never forget this. And Buddy Pugh, South Carolina State head coach, he comes in the office and Coach Felder always would tell us, man, I love you, but I'm never going to that's one of my players right there, man, from Manning.
Hey, appreciate you tuning in, bro.
Thank you,
he
man.
Said, he said, I never lied for you and hurt the next kid. You know what I mean? So I'm still like, man, me and Coach like this, I ain't worried about it. But Buddy Pugh come to that office, and Buddy Pugh asked, what kind of kid is he? And Coach Felder told him the type of person I was and what type of grades I had. He said, well, he gets in trouble in school, and he's a C, maybe D student sometime. You know what I mean? Okay. And Buddy Pugh said, we'll see you later. You know what I mean? He was the running back coach at the University of South Carolina at the time, man. And up until that point, man, I never understood, what Coach really was saying until then. You know what I mean? I understood it. And like right now, when I see Coach Pugh, it's an inside joke. He'll say, I'll be right back. You know what I mean? And then we'll kind of laugh it off. Like, I'm like, come on, Coach, don't do me like that, So it's kind of like an inside joke. But at the same time, man, it was one of the greatest learning lessons, man, to have, especially from a person like Coach Felder, you know what I mean? That I thought that was just mine, just for me, you know what I mean? He cared for me more than he cared for everybody, you know what I mean? So that was a good learning lesson to get right there, man. But the college recruiting, we was getting recruited from everybody, you know what I mean? We was getting recruited from all over everybody, you know what I mean? But nobody really wanted me to play quarterback. Everybody was like, you're an athlete, because I was 6'5", maybe 240, 250, running like a 4.5, 4.6. And they like, well, you're just an athlete. We want you're an athlete. So when I got to Benedict, man, I went to Benedict. I was supposed to go to Copiah Lincoln. No, not Copiah Lincoln. I was out of Copiah Lincoln or Arizona Western JUCO. USC was going to send me there. And I decided not to go there because Coach Felder was just leaving. He was just leaving Fairfield, man. Okay. They won the state championship at Fairfield, and he got the job, the head coaching job, at Benedict College. So to me, I'm like, man, it's a no-brainer. Well, I'm going, I don't know nothing about Benedict. I just know Coach Felder's going up there. You know what I mean? So, and tell you the type of person Coach Felder is. Coach Felder said, don't come. He tried to get me to place me in Georgia Military and Georgia Middle. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. He's like, no, don't come. You don't have to come here because of me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, he invited me in. You know what I mean? But we were on to something possibly bigger. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I got the Benedict, man, first day of practice, man, you know, and I stood in the middle of the field, and it was kind of like I saw it's like 5 or 6 quarterbacks over here, man. You know what I mean? One of them I'll tell y'all about a little earlier, Ramon Robinson.
Yeah, okay.
He's the best quarterback coach on this side of the earth. You know what I mean? Ramon Robinson. You know what I mean? He dealt with a lot of, Clemson guys, and I sent them a couple guys myself, and Coach Felder also from Manning and wherever we coaching that, man, because we knew he could get the technique going the proper way for him. But they had this other guy his name was Trimmer, Ramel Trimmer. He was a 4th or 5th year guy at Benedict. Then they had who we call Houdini. His name was Royton Williams. You know what I mean? He wound up being the starting quarterback and taking everybody's job. You know what I mean? That year as a quarterback. So I saw all those guys over there, man. I'm like, man, I know Ramon go play, and they want Royton to play. So the next thing I look at defensive ends is a bunch of them down there. Never played defense. I never had my hand on the ground. You know what I mean? Before. And I saw a bunch of linebackers, man. I saw just two guys down all the way to the other side. Guys, it looked like they were so far away from everything. And it was the tight ends. I said, Coach, what's that? Who them? They said, them the tight ends. I said, well, I'm going down there. They said, you sure you want to play? We don't throw the ball much now. Coach, I'm going down there to play. I want to play. And long story short with that, man, I say by the end of the week, man, I was a starting tight end. You know what I mean? I was a starting tight end because I just had something built. We had something, like I told you, growing up where we grew up at, man. We had that frustration and that anger for sports. You know what I mean? That when we was trying to compete, it was just I'm a different person. Like just like as a coach, I'm just just black out. I don't remember it. I don't remember nothing. The Hawk and stuff.
Yeah, baby. In the zone, you know what I mean?
Man, it's kind of like that. Yeah. It's kind of like that type of situation, man. So that's what it was, man. You know, you just that competitiveness just come out, man, and just take over. And I learned how to play tight end, and I couldn't. The first couple games, man, I catch a pass, and I probably could have scored, and I clipped over my own 2 feet because I wasn't used to catching the ball and running. You know what I mean? I was just used to having the ball and running. You know, now I got to catch it, concentrate, go and run. I fell, man, a couple times, man. So that's how I got to play tight end.
You gotta have
good balance, man. You gotta have good balance. And you can't be scared to get hit too. That was another thing. Like, man, you gotta know your quarterback.
Coming that ball up though.
You gotta know your quarterback. Like if the quarterback go throw it to me in the right spot. But we had some good guys, man. We had good talent at Benedict, man. We had a good coaching staff at Benedict, man. We was Benedict when we was there, man. Benedict was going like this every year. You know, we was the ones that they promised the stadium to, like, oh, we're gonna have a stadium every year. We was like, oh, the stadium coming. You know, but we actually was able to practice on the grounds of the stadium once they cleared it out. We practiced there for a whole year when they was doing the outside stuff and all that. We practiced on that ground. So for me, that's kind of good enough, man. You know, just to be a part of Benedict history like that.
That's what's up, man.
I know as a tight end, I know you don't get many routes, man. But so, which one was your favorite route?
The drag route on Waggle, man. Ooh. I was getting open. I had to figure that out. How I was gonna get open, man. The linebackers, if they dropped back too far, I was shooting across. You know what I mean? Yeah. And one of them got caught paying attention to the run. I'm getting in between them. You know what I mean?
There you go.
If they both were slow, I'm getting behind them, and I'm gone. You know what I mean? So. That was my favorite route in the dump pass. You know what I mean? Everybody tight end going straight up the seam. You can't catch that as a tight end, and you don't need to play. You know what I mean? You don't need to play. And then we got a little my junior senior year, we got a little more advanced. With our offense, we went away from the wing T and to more of a pro style offense under Coach Charlie Brown. Coach Charlie Brown was our offensive coordinator, man, and he kind of featured me in one of this guy Curtis Ramazan, Kenny Solomon, and Terrence Button, and Cedric Richie. That's my boy Richie. Richie, you know, that's my boy. That's my boy right there. You know what I mean? But we kind of was like the focal point of the offense, man. So that's when I started getting more receptions. You know, I went from getting maybe my first 3 years to having probably 25 the whole 3 years. You know what I mean? But that was good for me, guys, because I was a teammate. Like my quarterback, Royalton, used to always come to me and say, "Man, I see you, I'm gonna get you." You know what I mean? But you just threw it to Kenny or even Coon. You know, that was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll take that. Now my thing was like if they drop it, throw it to me. You know what I mean? Like I ain't begging, but throw it to me.
Like, give me a chance.
Yeah, give me a chance.
Yeah.
But that's just the type of teammate I was, man. I didn't have to be selfish. You know, it wasn't all about me.
Yeah,
but I understood the game, man. That's one thing I always did. I always understood the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when we ran the wing tee and I was a quarterback in high school, I ran it. We were so good at it, man, until we could go, you know, motion. There's a lot of motion to deal with and the wing tee. And a lot of time the motion tell you what you're doing on the play. Well, we had it so good to where we could run the same plays and run the motion opposite. You know what I mean? Or the coaches trusted me that much. The coaches trusted me that much to change the play. You know, we get up there easy. A lot of times I change it for myself. You know what I mean? But I had that kind of opportunity, man. But it kind of trickled right into college, man. So being a quarterback, it kind of helped you become a better teammate, man. Because, you know, the team basically go as you go. If you down, they down. You know what I mean? If you throwing the ball away, you throwing interceptions, you fumbling, can't get the center snap. It's no game. You know, you touch the ball first out of everybody. If you touch the ball the most, you're on the center. You know, so that was kind of for me. So when I got to college, man, I kind of learned how to be patient. You know what I mean? Especially I scored 100 touchdowns in high school to go to that to actually scoring no touchdown in college. You know what I mean? Not one touchdown.
That was my next question.
Not one touchdown in college did I score, man. That's always a teaching point to the kids now when I talk to the kids, because a lot of the kids nowadays, they selfish about what they want, you know, how they want things to be.
Yeah.
And you ain't throwing me the ball, you know what I mean? But out of that team, out of that particular year, man, me and my brother, we were the two that went to the NFL. So that's my claim. I always tell kids, man, I scored no touchdowns. You know what I mean? I barely was looked at because our two outside receivers were great. Wow. I'm talking about great. You talking about a 6'3" possession receiver and a Randy Moss on the other side. You know what I mean? They're going to get the ball. All the play action shots are going down to them. When Coach Brown came, they kind of switched up for me because I was able to run option routes. They you know, we had if an option route called for you, it's called for you. The quarterback and you got to be on the same page. Yeah, so I would be able to get open because I knew how to read the coverages, man. You know what I mean? I know how to read the difference between cover 3 and cover 2. You see in cover 2. I mean, you run a corner on the cover 2. You keep it going. You see it on the cover 3. You break it off and come down.
Tell
you know
what I mean?
Stuff like that. You know.
Tell them, coach.
I hear you, boy. Yeah.
Tell them, coach. Coach Shuler.
That's the kind of understanding that I had as a game growing up, man. Because I would sit in the classroom and draw plays. You know what I mean? Not do my work and draw plays. You know what I mean? For real. You know what I mean? Hey, I got to tell the truth. I ain't
student of the game.
I was a student of the game, but not being real to the real game, which was my education. You know what I mean? Yeah. Being real to that. You know what I mean?
Education come first.
Yeah, you know. So
most definitely.
But that's what it was, man.
Yep. So you go into the NFL draft, combine. You get your workouts. Talk about that experience and meeting some of the coaches that were recruiting you to the NFL, man.
It was a great. Like I said, man, it was a great experience, man. I don't remember too many of the coaches' names. One guy that stood out to me, man, was Tim Mingy from the Jacksonville Jaguars, because he was the first one that came to Benedict and scouted us, man. You know, he was the first one to come there, and I was shocked. You know what I mean? I was shocked. I was in awe, like, man, what? Because, man, honestly, man, growing up and coming from where we came from, man, like, football and all that stuff was a long shot for many of us. You know what I mean? It was a long shot for many of us, and going there and actually playing and getting some of the attention that we got going from high school to college, it was like, man, ain't no college want you. And then playing at Benedict, man, it was actually like, man, look, ain't nobody coming here to see y'all play. And somebody said that to us, like, you just playing for nothing. You here at Benedict, you playing for nothing. And that wasn't the truth, man, because Benedict had so much hidden talent, man, that it didn't make any sense. It's just that they were on the smaller broaders or whatever, and nobody really paid Benedict attention at the time. You know what I mean? So we was just kind of like, just thought we were playing football. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it was, man.
That's what's up, man. So
yeah.
Go ahead, Kid.
Yeah, so man, how was the Benedict homecomings, man?
Man, I love Benedict homecoming, man. I love Benedict homecoming. Benedict homecoming, man, is one of the best times, man. We try not to miss it, man. You know what I mean? Because we don't go to the game. I don't go to the game for the game. I go for the outside. You know what I mean? Go hang out with your friends, man. People you ain't seen in years, man, and just have a great time, man. Yeah. And then the good thing about it was that so the homecomings that I've been to, man, they just been all family type atmosphere. You know what I mean? No foolishness going on. And I'm big on that. I try to keep my surroundings, kind of on, you know what I mean, at a certain level. You know what I mean? So it was big, man. You get to go and be with all your friends, man. Sit back and eat as much as you want. You know what I mean? For those who drink. You know what I mean? All that stuff like that. Just have a good time. You know what I mean? Then get to see some of the cats that's actually playing when they come out. And see people who came through there, man, is a lifelong fraternity. You know what I mean? That
That's what's up, man.
Yep. Shout out to all the HBCUs, man, and the homecomings.
Oh, definitely.
You know it. So, so you went to the combine and you worked out and everything went well, and you and your brother end up on the same team. So, like, talk about that, man. Like, y'all followed each other all the way through life.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was sick of them. Sick of seeing them, you know what I mean? And the combine
keep following me. You keep following me.
Yeah, he just follow me everywhere. We twins. We come out at the same time. You follow me all over the place. You know what I mean? But nah, man, the combine, man, it was a great experience, man. Well, actually, a pro day. I wasn't invited to the combine. We had a pro day at USC, and it was guys from USC there and guys from South Carolina State. A couple of them, man, maybe Newberry had a couple guys there, man, but it kind of showed us what we were thought of from the start with, because, from the first couple drills, man, all Benedict guys, it wasn't in alphabetical order. You know what I mean? If it was, they added Benedict guys at the end. It was like, okay, Rolando Shuler, and Curtis Rampersant. All right, you're up. After all these 100 names, you know what I mean? So for me, what kind of stood me out was the vertical leap. With the vertical leap. I could play ball, and that's one thing about me in basketball. I ain't never dunked on Ben Wallace, but I dunked on a bunch of other people. You know what I mean? Before, and I could jump. Yeah. So the first jump I did was like 29 or 30 or something like that. So you get 3 jumps. Mm-hmm. Every jump I went higher to my last jump was at 36. And then the guy was like, well, we only do with 3 jumps. You want to take another shot at it? So I jumped again. I went to 37 and a half. He said, do it again. I went to 30 something else. You know what I mean? And I wound up doing another one and finishing at 41 and a half inches. So now everybody is looking now. So now we get to start coming to the front of the line. You see what I'm saying? Now we start to get to come up in front of the line. But anything that was athletic, I could do that. You know what I mean? That was my thing. My downfall was the weight room, and that was my brother positive. You know what I mean? My brother, I think he could have broke the record if they had counted all of his reps at the pro day that day. But all the athletic things, running routes and doing stuff like that, man, that was my thing. You know what I mean? I could definitely do that, and I did it well. You know what I mean? Cool. So that's what kind of caught the attention of the scouts and stuff like that, man. So.
All right.
And actually, guys, I'm telling you now, they called us when they called us for the combine. This just was our mind, like, man, we ain't, we just playing. We love football, so we just playing football. You see what I'm saying? We just playing football, and me and my brother, man, let me just go back. We grew up in Newark, New Jersey, like I told you, our Prince Street projects.
Okay.
You wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? And
I ain't mean to cut you off, bro, but we're gonna bring both of y'all on the show. We're gonna bring both of y'all on the show.
That's what's up.
Another
That's
segment, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to cut you off. Just let everybody know. Just let everybody know where they can follow you at, and also let them know what kind of camps you got going on and what you got going on for the kids this summer, things of that nature.
Well, I'm actually, you know, I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. Rolando Shuler on Facebook and L. Shuler on Instagram. But I'm hardly ever on the scene like that. I kind of just get on there for my basketball stuff or something like that. But actually, this summer right here, man, I'm doing a camp in Calhoun County called Rolando Shuler Youth Basketball Skills and Drills. You know, it started today, and it'll be going all the way through this Saturday coming up right here. You know, and that's what I'm doing now. In the summertime, trying to get things prepared. Also, we about to get ready to have what you call Calhoun County Impact. All right, it's a 7-on-7. Yeah. It's going to be a 7-on-7 team. They're going to start next year, and also it's going to be an AAU basketball team, grades 6, 7 through the 10th grade. You know what I mean? We're going to start that just to get a community and kids something to do. They're building a really nice rec center up here in Calhoun County. That's going to be done. I want a part of it. You know what I mean? I want to do something, have some things. To being there, man, for the kids and for my kids, you know what I mean? Like I said, I got kids that's coming through, man. Actually, one of my sons now, man, we kind of like constantly on the road every weekend, man. We constantly on the road, but he deserve it. You know what I mean? Christian Zachary, y'all go hear about him. You know what I mean? He deserve it. He's a 6'3" wide receiver. He can run, man. He can run. He 4x4 team. That's the man race.
I already heard about him. I already heard.
He the man. He run the man race. So he does a good job, man. You know, and that kind of athletic ability just run through my family, man. My brother's son, man. My brother's son, he's number one. You know what I mean? You know, that's kind of like, man,
I know.
That's a big deal. You know. Then I got a cousin. His name is Heaven Shuler. You know what I mean? And I got a cousin in New Jersey, man. I got a cousin in New Jersey named Don Shuler, man. They all coming out the same year. You know what I mean? It's just crazy with the possibility that, man, that could be our kids, man. You know what I mean? And man, I'm just telling you, I know some really good kids, man. Like I said, I'm just coming from coaching in Manning High School, man. And I'm telling you, man, there's a kid up there, Justin Doobie Daniels. Y'all go hear about him. All right, I'm telling you, he's lights out. You know what I mean? He played football, basketball, run track. There's another kid, Daquan Hilton. You know what I mean? These kids, I take pride in them. Now, those are the guys, like I'm starting camp down here, the 7-on-7, not the 7-on-7, but the youth basketball with I had those kids since they were in the 4th and 5th grade. And now they 10th graders, man, and they doing things big, man. They doing it big. You know what I mean? So I just want to, the same things I did for them up there in Manning, man, I want to do that stuff, you know what I mean, for my hometown, man. Give them something to look forward to. Give my kids something to look forward to, man.
That's what's up, bro. Yep. Well, you know, I hate to shut it down, man, but we're running out of time. I'm running out of juice right now.
Hey, man.
But, we'll get another segment in. You know it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
anytime, man.
Big dog. But
anytime, guys.
You guys just tune in to another edition of Sports Shop 27. You know what I'm saying? I'm your host, Jermaine Colter. We got KJ, my co-host to the far right. And today we like to thank special guest, former Benedict College and New York Jet tight end, Rolando Shuler.
Appreciate you guys, man. I can't say thank you enough, man.
Keep doing your thing, man.
You know,
appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all.
Next time, y'all join, y'all watch and tune in. Follow us on Spotify and Deezer, and also shop at us with the apparel store online on Facebook. All right. Until then, wear your mask. Be safe. We out.
That's not how you start. That's how you finish.
That's right.
That's how you finish.
Yeah.